I'd like to thank everybody that's come out. It's a momentous occasion for us, representing the Boundary Emergency and Transition Housing Society is Jim Harrison. On this side, Jake Raven is representing Whispers of Hope. And I am representing Habitat for Humanity, the three organizations that have collaborated to put this place together. The restore for Habitat is yet to come. It's going to be over on the side there. We'll do a sod turning ceremony there. As I found a place I could stick a shovel in still. It might not be as easy in spring, and we can do it all at one time. So this project began about 1.5 years ago, and or more. The thought process behind it started probably about 14 years ago for me, and I was involved with a few other people that were looking at what we could do to start bringing the not-for-profits together that were addressing the needs of those who are disadvantaged in our community. So it's exciting to see that as long as you keep plugging away at something, you don't let it die, it actually does come to fruition in time. We're thrilled to have had a really good advisory committee. It consisted of 2 people from Whispers, 2 people from Beth's, 2 board of directors people from Habitat, and we had Wendy McCulloch from Community Futures chairing our advisory council. And we worked out an operating plan for how this was going to work. We sat down and decided who was going to be on what side of the building, how everything was going to work out, what we were going to share. And it's been a real joy to see people start collaborating and start thinking about how they can work as a combined unit rather than individual agencies. In the past, we've competed for these same funding sources. We are now going after those same sources, but as a group. And it's made us stronger as a group, and it's made us more efficient as well. Our operating costs are reduced because of this, so our services to the community can increase. I'll give Jim a chance to say some words, then Jake, and then we will have a ribbon cutting ceremony. Thanks.
Thank you, Rick. On behalf of the Board of Directors from Beth's, I'd like to extend our deepest appreciation to all of you first for showing up today. It's an important day for us, but I think it's also an important day for the community. Certainly we wouldn't be here today if not for the support of the community, and in particular the City of Grand Forks, both the Mayor and Council and the administration staff that has helped us throughout this project. Certainly without their support and blessing, the collaboration of the 3 groups, we wouldn't have been standing here today. So I'd like to acknowledge the City of Grand Forks, our Mayor and Council and administration. The number of people supporting us and organizations supporting us. I'm happy to say are far too many for me to name each single one. It's been just an outpouring of support from the community. We've had just super support from agencies such as the Phoenix Foundation, locally, as well as many of the businesses in town, and many individuals who've come forward with personal donations. I'd like to mention at this time that Beth's this year, we found ourselves in a bit of a quandary for funding, and we needed to very quickly recruit volunteers in order to make our shelter operation work. Tracy Garvin from our board of directors went to work along with some help from some other people, and in a short period of time recruited 24 volunteers from the community to work 12-hour shifts at 8 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning. And I can tell you that all the donations are wonderful, but probably one of the most priceless donation any person can give is their time. And those 24 volunteers are doing that and making it possible that we can stay open through the extreme weather shelter period, which will run from November 1st when we open till March 31st. So again, thank you all. Really appreciate
it. Honored guest, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all of us, and that is the board, and also the guest of the Whispers of Hope, we welcome you to our joint facility. First of all, we want to thank Habitat for Humanity for spearheading this project and bringing it to fruition. Also, the people that worked on this project, the paid workers and the volunteers, deserve well done. Then to Rick Friesen, praise to you, my boy. We must have, at times, driven you to the point of quitting. But you hung in there. Therefore, our deepest gratitude. And all the success in the world to your future needs. Also, Rick, if I was one of those that kind of drove you to that point, no, sorry about that. To all the volunteers that have given and are still giving so much of their time, energy to start the store and the kitchen and to keep it all going. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. To the city of Grand Forks, I'm not going to name anybody in case I forget someone. You have shown that your heart is in the right place by providing this facility for the less fortunate in our community. Last but not least, those people that have and are still donating so generously in money and in material items. This to keep the store and the kitchen going. A well-meant thank you. Without the volunteers, your donations, and grants from organizations and governments, we won't be able to operate. In closing, I'd like to mention what I tell the people here at Whispers and have said at the MAAP meeting also. This venture is like a new ship. And like a new ship, we are on a shakedown cruise. A shakedown cruise is to find out if all the components are working properly. And seldom you will find out that all works 100%. And some adjustments have to be made. No doubt, we will find that some adjustments have to be made. But under God's navigation and your help, we will make the adjustments and cruise on to a bright future for all that are involved in this project. Thank you.
So we've invited a few of our guests, or two of our guests, to assist us with the ribbon cutting. We have two ribbons to cut, one at Whisper's entrance and one at Beth's entrance here. And we'll get Jim and Jake to call those people up. I just forgot to mention one thing earlier, that many of you have already walked through the building. You've noticed that we have a thrift store next door. So, and the extreme weather shelter on this side. You have two options today. You can purchase something valued at about $10 from the thrift store, or you can make a donation of the same amount. That would be greatly appreciated.
Folks, if I could have Mayor Brian Taylor and our local MLA, Linda, please come forward to assist us with the ribbon cutting. Yeah, Rick. Come join us.
One of the most important people in the picture.
There we go.
Put your hand on that.
So you don't want to touch him?
No.
Okay, are we ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay. No, I'm not cutting.
Brian and I'll cut. There you go. Okay? This is what you call regional work. Right? There you go. Okay. Cut away.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'd like to invite Linda Larson, who's our MLA, member of the Legislative Assembly representing the province of BC. If she would have a few words to say.
Yes, thank you.
Photo spot.
This is the fire extinguisher. Okay. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to come and participate in something where a community has come together to fill a need, and that is based on volunteers and on a collaboration between the community, the City of Grand Forks, Regional District, and everybody else that's been involved. That is what it takes to make these things work. It does take you, the community, to embrace it and to be on board and support it. And thank heavens for your volunteers. Volunteers are hard to come by all over the province, so you're very, very fortunate that you've got volunteers to help you with your beds here. And congratulations to all of you. Great effort. And to the City of Grand Forks that is very forward-thinking and has moved ahead on this and put its heart and soul into it too. Way to go, Brian. Okay.
Grace McGregor is here representing Regional District Kootenay Boundary. She's the Area Director for Area C. And she is also Chairman of the Board for the Southern Interior Development Initiative Trust. You guys all got that? I don't know why these folks come up with names like a mile long, but we seem to all be able to do that. Grace, you have a few words to say?
I do. Thank you very much. Have you ever heard me not have a few words?
That's like asking me if your pants look like
So first of all, from the regional district side of it, Christina Lake, of course, is very, very pleased to partner with Vision. And the vision that stands out here is the word regional. I really believe that these kind of projects are what make it worthwhile to be in the boundary. And truly, if you look at the type of people that are going to use this, we could be any of those people any given time. And as I was standing outside today, I was thinking, oh my God, I'm just about freezing to death. And then when I looked at the sign, I said, yeah, that's what we're doing here. And so we all need to be really, really proud that we've made this happen. And the people that had their feet on the ground to do the work, bless you. Really, at the end of the day, that's what it takes for us to all come on board. So my first thank you is to you, and Christina Lake is proud to have put $20,000 into this project. From the Southern Interior Initiative Trust, I sit on too many of Southern Interiors. We also are really proud, but a lot of you may not know too much about SIDIT. So I'm just going to give you a very brief overview because that's what they want me to do, and they like their chair to do the presenting at these kind of functions. So the Southern Interior Development Initiative Trust is a corporation created by the province of British Columbia with a $50 million one-time allocation designated for strategic investments in sustainable economic development initiatives throughout the southern interior of British Columbia. SIDIT is managed by an independent board of directors comprised of 13 members, 8 elected officials, and 5 provincial appointees. From the SIDIT region, which covers the southern interior of British Columbia, an area generally described as bounded by a U.S. border to the south the Alberta border to the east, Hope to the west, and Blue River to the north. We are focused on economic development initiatives throughout that area. We commend the Boundary Emergency and Transition Housing Society Habitat for Humanity Boundary and Whispers of Hope Benevolence Association for their accomplishments and vision in this collaborative project. The Southern Interior Development Initiative Trust is pleased to have provided $50,000 in grant to help this project happen. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Grace. For the City of Grand Forks, I'd like to invite Mayor Brian Taylor in a few words. Brian has been involved with Habitat for a long time. I don't know if council is aware of it, but Brian was actually on our steering committee when we first created Habitat for Humanity in this area. And it's been a pleasure working together with him at that level, and then in doing delegation requests to council with him serving as mayor. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to begin by recognizing the unique nature of this project. What is truly amazing is that so many varied interests should come together at the right time. So from the City of Grand Forks, going back 5 years basically, we've had a couple of major community consultations where improving the life of our community's most vulnerable has been one of our major objectives. So when this group steering committee came forward and suggested that we work together to find a location, clearly we found a location, this one, that met one of the city's needs, which was identified by past Mayor Sugimoto over a number of years, where we were attempting to put back in community hands the river side of our community. So in the core area here, there were a number of strategic moves that had placed the community in charge of the riverfront, and this was simply another one. But uniquely, it matched with the current needs of the steering committee, and so the city went ahead with the purchase. We spent about $250,000, a little more, with the in-kind work that the city has done, and we will be continuing to support these initiatives. From the side of my past life, I was a nonprofit administrator, and I know how difficult it is to get community volunteer groups to work together sometimes. It's really a challenge. So I really tip my hat to the kind of work that was done here by the whole group. I think there was clearly, this has been driven by good leadership. So it is those leaders that have pushed it forward and brought it from a vision to a reality. So again, very proud of that. We'd like to take the show on the road and brag it up, because I think this could be a model for other communities around the province. And we won't hesitate at this point to work with Rick and his team to bring that to other communities. And finally, I think something that really is something we can look forward to is the fact that these people that we've talked about today as vulnerable, disenfranchised, whatever, will be in a position where they can actually make a contribution back to the community. So as this program develops, I can see that the participation in diverting building materials, providing food, warm clothing, household equipment, those are things that this so-called group of vulnerable people will now contribute back to their community. So on behalf of the community and the Council of Grand Forks, I really congratulating everybody for the work they've done, and thank you very much for giving this opportunity to our community.
Thank you, Brian. Sheila Findlay is here representing BC Housing. BC Housing has been prime funder for Beth's operating expenses. We will also be approaching BC Housing for the future transition housing units, which will be a second story above the restore that's going to get built next door. So the plan is to have 3 transition housing units up there, which will be subsidized rental for individuals who no longer wish to be homeless and are ready to move on. Beth's has their homework cut out, planning how that is going to actually work out. Our job will be to construct it, their job will be to fill it and to administer it. Sheila, would you like to have some words to say?
No, I want to thank you all. These guys have worked so hard, and I've been so lucky to have been able to work with them. I think it's been 4 years now. I consider myself lucky because just the passion that they bring with them is just amazing, and it makes me feel good about the job I do. And they've involved me with every step, every idea. They've asked for suggestions. They've given me some pretty great ideas back. Again, I'm the lucky one in this whole scenario, and I'm just really grateful to be part of this today. So, thank you.
All right. We have Christine Thompson and George Longden from the Phoenix Foundation, and I believe you have a presentation as well.
I do. About 3 years ago at the Community Foundations of Canada conference, the Governor General put forward an initiative that he called Smart and Caring Communities. And this facility here today is an example of what can happen when you have a smart and caring community. And I would have to commend all 3 organizations, the Whispers of Hope, Beth's, and Habitat for Humanity, for coming together, working through, and being able to create a facility such as this that are going to help some of our citizens who are most vulnerable and in need. And having said that, it's my pleasure to present, and George, if you'll help me.
Yes, as the chair of the Grants Committee, we would like to present the MAAP project with a check, a small check, not quite as substantial as what's been received in the past from other organizations to, we need people get you in here. I'm going to shake hands with somebody.
I think Rick's already spent that.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Do we get to keep this or even?
I don't think that's negotiable.
Want to go in your wallet, Rick?
See if I haven't forgotten anybody else. We have a few people who I believe haven't indicated that they would like to speak. But our very first sponsor for this project was Interfor. And about a year and a half ago, Interfor participated in a contest at the P&E. They had a lumber company working together with an architect, working together with a construction outfit that built playhouses. And so there was different teams of these around. There was an auction, and the proceeds from that auction, Interfor decided would go to Habitat for Humanity. They phoned around to see who was currently building. We weren't currently building, but I told them about this project that we were planning. and they got quite excited about that, and so they have come on board. Their donation of $20,000 that was raised from that is going to build the restore, which will happen next door. Representing Interfor here today is Cheryl Beatty. Back there.
That's okay.
It's been such a pleasure to work with Interfor, and one of the first things that Interfor Canada did was to tell Cheryl Beatty she had to be on our board and be our treasurer, and which was very, very appreciated. So not only is industry in this community helping us with funding, they are also helping us with volunteers, and it's nice to see that. We really appreciate it. Community Futures gave us an initial grant as well of $5,000. I saw James here earlier. Not sure if anyone else is here from Community Futures, but certainly appreciate that. Undesignated funding, as any of you that are involved with not-for-profits these days, is extremely rare. Most people like to say, I will fund this, this, and this of your project, and it's up to you to find the rest. And when you have administrative and overhead costs, something like a $5,000 check with no strings attached is just huge. And it just enables us the freedom to fill in the little gaps where some of our bigger sponsors are buttonholing specific things that they want to fund. Those kind of contributions help us fill in those gaps. We have Harold and Yvonne Kopan that are here. They would like to make a presentation as well. I think they are just bringing those out. And after that's done, if we can get you guys outside again, I did find a spot out there that I can stick a shovel in a couple inches, and we can get those who are here from the board of directors of Habitat to start excavating our foundation, which will continue in the spring once the frost is gone.
I made it. I've just been so excited about this. My husband Harold, he's on the board of Habitat, and so I heard a little bit about this in the planning, and I thought, what can I do? And so I started collecting and saving and shopping with my coupons, and I've got cleaning supplies for Beth and for Whispers, and yours will come later once you've built. So anyhow, they will enjoy it. Thank you.
So again, thanks to everyone. Your interest, your contribution, money-wise, volunteer-wise, just the fact that you're interested enough to come out. It means the world to us. And that's what I think feeds the fire, keeps us all going. Thank you. Beth's board of directors up in the parking lot to see if you can shovel, and the rest of you come out there and watch. Cheer them on.
Habitat board.
The Habitat board, yeah.
Yes, there you go.
Do you do a chat? Dig it.
Get it deeper, I'm sure.
Yeah, bigger. Bigger.
Yeah, come on.
Can you dig it?
There's water down there if you dig far enough. This is how we're going to get rid of the storm sewer. Drive-by digging, we're going to call it. Okay.
Good?
All right, yeah, we're good to go. There should probably be a bottle of wine. I'm sure Jackson drinks it.